We are back with some MLB action on a Monday. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and I am fired up, ready to roll. We got another week of MLB action for you. It's just a ho-hum even weekend again. 4-1 Friday and then two small losing days on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, we'll go over that entire recap in just a bit. Quick reminder, NBA Best Bets video is out now, so be sure to check it out. And then, of course, any graphics you see, they're from the best app out there called OUTLIER. Honestly, it's the best research tool on the market. I use this every day. If you want to try it out, all you got to do is click the link below in the description. You get a 7-day free trial. And if you want to try it and have any questions for me on how to sort, how to look through it and all that kind of stuff, feel free to shoot me a private message or email. I'm glad to help because, again, I think this is very important for people that want to be a long-term profitable sports bettor. So anyways, let's get into it. And that means we're starting our Monday with an MLB fun fact. So here we go. Do you know who has the most seasons stealing at least one base without ever getting caught? There's no possible way you know because the answer is Greg freaking Maddux, the pitcher. That is correct. 10 seasons where he has stolen at least one base and has never got caught. I'm sure the catcher wasn't even trying on those, but either way, that was crazy. In this video, we're going to recap that weekend. Then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups today. And like we do every other Monday, we're going to talk aces of bases, the top 20 hitters with the most total bases in the last 15 days. And then we'll give you that entire pitcher report. And of course, we'll finish it off with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. Also, go join that Discord. Link is in the description. Almost 5,000 people in it, completely free to join. And we love talking sports every single day. So let's get this baseball journey rolling. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. The entire weekend recap. As you can see on the right side, 6-6, down 0.19 units. A break-even weekend. Frustrating, but you know what? It's better than losing a lot. This first couple months of baseball season, if you guys don't know, it is extremely tough. So as long as you can kind of steady the ship, like we did last year, we caught fire in that second half of the year, warmer weather, just better hitting environments, things like that for different bets. But either way, more data as well. But either way, hopefully we do get on that hot streak soon. But speaking of a hot streak, we had a hot day on Friday, 4-1. It just went well, that's for sure. Tigers with a late inning rally again to help us out. Mariners on the money line got the job done. Luzardo under 2.5 earned runs, got sweaty at the end, but for the most part, just dominated. Senzatella just became batting practice again. And then the Dodgers, they win by 2. They only scored 2 runs, or they won by 1 run, and they did not quite cover the run line. So that was a nice 4-1 day. And then we moved to Saturday, under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. Never a doubt on that one. And then we go to a lot of doubts. D-backs team total, they did nothing. Maybe Aaron Nola's found his groove back. You know what? Just like Stella did. Maybe that's what's going on. But the D-backs couldn't do anything. They scored 2 runs off the bullpen late in the game, and that's it. And then this one. Okay, I'm gonna be okay because I've had time to relax on this one. As you guys know, I said angry tweets and or whatever you call them now. Osvaldo Bido over 15.5 outs, 15 outs, 73 pitches, 3 hits allowed. He's been throwing 90 to 95 every start. Guess what? The the manager Kotze says we're done. We'll go to the bullpen. They pull him out. I needed 1 more out. I was frustrated. Let's just say I was mowing the lawn and I was mowing very angrily. But anyways, Tigers minus 1.5. That one, they did not get the job done, unfortunately, as the Angels took that game. That was the only one of the 4. And then Sunday, hitter parlay, Rafael Devers, hottest hitter on the planet, 6 hits in the last 2 games. Guess what? Goes over, of course. Francis under 17.5 outs. It started off good, but then he got absolutely rocked. Easy winner there. And the Mariners money line. This was a value play against Jacob deGrom, but plus 155 for the better team. Rangers bats woke up. deGrom pitched well. It is what it is. We go 1 and 2 on a half-unit plays. All these were half-unit plays. The only 1-unit play we had was Friday, Tigers minus 1.5. So that was a nice winner. So that's why you see about break even. 86 and 89 down 3.99 units. Just got to get a hot week. We'll get it rolling here. But that's what we got for the recap. And, of course, all the breakdowns on the bottom just so you guys can see. Because, again, we're in this together. We're here to help you. And I think seeing the breakdown, what I'm doing well at, what I'm not doing well at, and all that. Right now, it's just kind of all within 2 units. So, anyways, that's the recap. Now, let's talk the good and bad hitter matchups. All right, here it is, page 1. That's right, we got a lot of good hitter matchups today, thanks to, well, the LA Dodgers. How about Freddie Freeman, 9 for 29 off Alcantara, and then we got Max Muncy and Mookie Betts also hitting the well off of him down there on the bottom left, getting jiggy with it, 6 for 14 with 1 extra base hit, And another Dodger on the right in the middle, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, this team just rocks them. Other than that, you start with a few Pirates hitters. Brian Reynolds, 14 for 39 off Mikolas. And then so on. And Xander Bogaerts, again, having a struggling year, but 5 for 12 off Rodon. And then Goldschmidt, 4 for 11, so on and so on. You got Pete Alonso down there, 4 for 9. 3 of those 4 hits were extra base hits, and all those extra base hits were home runs off Ryan Nelson. And then Sean Murphy, even for the Braves, 5 for 8 with 4 extra base hits and 2 bombs off of Brady Singer. So a lot to go off of here. But that's page 1. Now let's take a look at page 2, and there's not much more, but Lindor, 4 for 8 against Ryan Nelson. Jesse Winker, 3 for 8. Brandon Nimmo, 4 for 7. And Jeff McNeil. So actually, this is bizarre, but we got 4 Mets hitters right here on this page, and that's it. All hitting Ryan Nelson pretty well. So that's what we got for all the good hitter matchups. Now the bad ones, only 3. So Andrew McCutchen, 3 for 25, and then a couple guys that most of you probably aren't betting. Martin Maldonado and Rowdy Tellez, 2 for 12 versus Severino. So that's what we got for all the hitter matchups for the day. And now let's talk the aces of bases. All right, here it is. We start with the top 10, and it is no surprise. Aaron Judge is absolutely having a historic season right now. 44 total bases in the last 15 days. How about Alex Bregman? 37. Teoscar Hernandez. If you can tell, we have 2 Dodgers in the top 10, and none of them are the guys you're thinking. It's Teoscar and Andy Pages at 9th. 33. That's right. He's hitting the ball well, along with Jorge Polanco of the Mariners. And then there's all the rest of the guys. Noelvi Marte, PCA, Pete Crow, Armstrong. So a lot of guys that haven't been up here before, but anyways, that's the top 10. Now let's take a look at page 2. Francisco Lindor leading the way. Zach Neto hitting the ball pretty well for the Angels, and then so on and so on, all the way down the list. Rafael Devers, of course, who just ruined my hitter parlay. Then we got a 4-way tie for 20th at 27 bases. So again, hopefully these help you out, just to show you who's been hitting the ball well, who's been hitting with power, base props, whatever it is. But that's what we got for all the hitters. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, before we get started, just a heads up, there were no great pitcher strikeout matchups. Usually I take high strikeout pitchers last 3 weeks versus high strikeout teams last 3 weeks. There wasn't anything I saw that was worth noting, so that's why it's not there. But anyways, to the pitcher report now. Here are the first 5 matchups. Casper the Ghost, he is, he's not a guy who goes deep. He made 1 start, only 3 walks and 21.2 innings though, but 54 pitches is the most he's ever thrown this year. So he's going to go probably 3-4 innings here. Going against Alcantara, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Luis Ortiz, K rate way up this season. Still, ERA is getting up there now, walk rate up there as well. And then going up against Jake Irvin, we talked about many times, just nothing. I mean, just average at best, I guess I would say about him. Throws a lot of off speed, low K rate. Nick Pivetta versus Carlos Rodon. Rodon is really heating up. Only 8 hits allowed and 2 total earned runs in the last 19 innings. That's over 3 starts and 7+ Ks now in 5 straight starts. Going up against Pivetta, who is also having one heck of a season. 1.78 ERA, 2.09 expected ERA, high K rate. Again, those are 2 high K pitchers, but not 2 high strikeout teams. Yankees can every once in a while, but Pivetta's been dominant. Look at the hits per 9, 5.3 for him and 4.7 for Rodon. It's been impressive. And then Brady Singer versus AJ Smith-Shawver. What a matchup there, huh? Advantage Reds on the pitcher there, but Landon Raup, or Roop, whatever, 5.1 ERA. I don't think he's lasting too long for the Giants, but 3.97 expected ERA, I guess due for a little positive regression, but 25.9% K rate. He has allowed 18 hits, 9 earned runs, and 7 walks though total in his last 15 innings, which is 3 starts. He's given up 3+ earned runs now in 4 of his last 6. Going up against Matthew Boyd, who kind of labored last start. Let's be honest. We had his over-outs prop, and he didn't do very well. But obviously 4 expected ERA, 2.7 ERA as well. So all the averages on the bottom. Hopefully this helps you out. Now let's check out page 2 in the final 5 matchups. And we got Shane Smith, 2 or less earned runs allowed in 5 of 6 starts. I mean, that's all you can ask for. Only 3 earned runs in the other start. So never given up more than 3 runs, but he does have a low K rate. Cole Reagans, we know, struggled and left early. We had him last game. Apparently he's fine and didn't miss much, but he is on 10 days rest, so it was a while ago. So we'll see what he does. I expect a full pitch count, but we will find out. Tobias Myers, not been good, but again, 7 innings. It's nothing. Ronel Blanco, 5.08 ERA. We know he struggles with the walks, 11.7 walk rate. Mlodzinski is not a good pitcher, will not be long here. And then Miles Mikolas. I'm going to say this about Miles. I make fun of him all the time. I called him a Christmas tree. He's actually been good lately. If you take out the 1 bad start, which is where he gave up 8 earned runs, he has a 2.41 ERA in the other 5 starts. He's still giving up some hard contact. I'm not saying he's just some elite, but as you can see, 3.72 expected. But I'm just letting you know, this is ballooned because of 1 bad game. He's been pretty good lately. And Griffin Canning, just like Miles Mikolas, has really shown improvement as well. Only 2 earned runs given up in the last 16 innings, and that's 3 starts. So he's throwing the ball well. Ryan Nelson threw the most pitches last game of the season with 68, more of an opener for most of the year. So, we'll see how deep he goes. And then Bryce Miller, Luis Severino, we will talk about that game later as well. So, anyways, that's what we got for all the research help. And now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Miami, Florida, where the Marlins host the LA Dodgers. Dodgers on the money line minus 185. Marlins are plus 154 with a total of 9.5 runs. I think we took this bet last time against Sandy. We're doing it again. Give me the Dodgers team total over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings at minus 125 on DraftKings. This is a half unit play for me here. Almost win a unit. Let's talk why I did that real quick. Dodgers are coming off Sunday Night Baseball and traveling. It's usually a fade spot for me, but it's the Dodgers versus Sandy. I still like the over team total. Whether they win or not does not matter to me. But their full game team total is 5.5 at even money last I saw. I don't mind that as well, but getting playable 2.5 in the first 5 was just too good to pass up. So let's talk Mr. Sandy Alcantara first. He just faced his Dodgers lineup in his last start. How did it go? Well, I'm glad you asked. He gave up 7 hits and 7 earned runs with 5 walks in 2.2 innings. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Now, I would never just base it off that. What I've seen from Sandy is he just doesn't have it this year. Coming off a huge injury, he's really struggled. He has given up 3+ runs in the first 5 innings in 4 straight starts. He's actually given up 20 earned runs in the last 16.1 innings. Here's some other numbers just to show you how bad he is. He's in the 21st percentile for chase rate, 19th for average exit velocity, 28th for barrel percentage, 20th in hard hit. It's just saying that ball he leaves from his hand is finding barrels and it's getting hit hard. That's what it is. So no matter how you slice it, it has been bad for him. He's been a little better at home, but still gave up 3 earned runs to the Reds, 4 earned runs to the Nats, 2 earned runs all the way back at the beginning to the Pirates. No, he has never, ever given up less than 2 earned runs in the first 5 innings this year. So 2 is like a floor. And now we have the Dodgers offense. Versus righties last 3 weeks, 3rd highest WRC plus, 2nd highest batting average, 2nd best OPS behind the Seattle Mariners. Just crushing the ball again. We know how well they can hit the ball. Obviously, after Sunday Night Baseball, maybe they rest a starter or 2, but the Dodgers are a team that still has some weapons. I hope they don't, but that's why I'm sticking to a half unit. So overall, I have a starting pitcher who's allowed 2+ earned runs in all 6 starts in the first 5 innings. Dodgers just annihilated him last time. He doesn't have much swing and miss stuff. Getting 3 runs should be pretty easy here. Again, the only thing is the Sunday Night Baseball letdown. As long as they don't have that, they could cash this pretty early. So give me the Dodgers team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Sacramento, where the A's host the Seattle Mariners. Mariners on the money line, minus 110. A's on the money line, minus 110. Total of 9 runs. I'm just going to tell you guys this. I know I bet the Mariners last a few times. I don't usually bet on my favorite team, but we're freaking doing it again. Give me the Mariners on the money line, minus 110. This is a 1-unit play here. What are we doing with this line? Are the Mariners still getting disrespected? So if you don't know, the Mariners obviously are my favorite team, but I don't usually bet on them because I'm usually negative about them. I've seen them struggle, especially hitting almost my entire life since the 90s and Griffey days and Edgar and all that. But they are playing really good baseball. So let's talk the Mariners right now. They've won 8 straight series. They have won 16 of their last 21 games. I have not said that many times in my life. More on the offense in just a little bit and how well they're doing. But let's talk the starting pitcher matchup. Bryce Miller versus Luis Severino. Miller, usually someone you want to tail at home, but he's been okay on the road. He's still limiting some hard contact. It's a little Blake Snellish, where he's actually walking guys now, but still not allowing a lot of hard contact, nibbling around the zone a little bit here. I'm not saying he's Blake Snell, by the way, but numbers. He's allowed 1 or lesser in runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. He had 1 bad start in Boston. He did have a good start in Cincy though, which was good to see. He was limited to about 5 innings most starts, not seeing lineups third time through very often. 19 walks isn't ideal. That's the struggle here. But he's also only allowed 25 hits in his 30.2 innings with 30 Ks. So that kind of helps make up for it. Obviously, he's getting out of some jams. But when you look at his baseball savant page, it's pretty average except for his K rate, 62nd percentile, his barrel rate. That's right. This is important because you don't want to find barrels. That's when the ball gets hit hard. I know. It's crazy. He is in the 88th percentile. This is what I'm talking about, limiting hard contact. He's done a good job at that. So I think he can slow this A's team down enough. Now let's talk Severino. He's been pretty good at limiting runs as well. He doesn't have the swing and miss stuff though, like Miller does. He's been a bit lucky. He's given up a 285 expected batting average. That's in the 16th percentile. So like I said, he's due for some negative regression. He's in the 8th percentile for whiff rate, 38th for chase rate. So it just has not been pretty. I expect some regression from him, but here's the deal. Here's the big part. The Mariners. We talked about it. The number one offense in the major leagues in the last 3 weeks, 154 WRC plus, number one OPS, third highest batting average, second highest walk rate. I mean, they are not only hitting, they are also getting on base via the walk. They've also, in the last 3 weeks, they've had the eighth fewest plate appearances versus righties, but scored the seventh most runs with the fifth most home runs. It's been that good. Jorge Polanco has the highest barrel rate in the major leagues right now. Cal Raleigh is the best hitting catcher in the league. Julio's starting to figure it out. The list goes on and on. These guys are playing well. Athletics offense, pretty good too. I'm not going to sit here and say they've been bad, but ninth best WRC plus, 10th highest OPS, not getting on base as much. They only have the fourth lowest walk rate, but this team can score a little bit, so I'm not expecting Miller to just hold them to zero or anything like that. But the bullpen, Mariners are by far the better bullpen. They just got Matt Brash back from the IL as well. Didn't play last season. One of the best sliders in the game. One of the elite closers, and Andre Munoz. They're rested. A's are rested too, but this Mariners bullpen is light years ahead of them. Obviously, Mason Miller is the main guy you're looking for out of the A's bullpen, but he usually comes in later when they're ahead or something. But final note, A's are traveling across the country in Miami. Mariners are coming from Texas, so it's not like a huge advantage or anything for the A's, and it's a minor league park. This is not a big-time home field advantage at all. So I like the slight starting pitcher advantage, the number one offense in the league, the much better bullpen. Give me the M's on the money line at a pick'em price at minus 110 as my first best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to the ATL where the Braves host the Cincinnati Reds. Braves on the money line minus 142, Reds on the money line plus 120 with a total of 8.5 runs. I got another team total. Give me the Reds team total over 3.5 runs, minus 130 on DraftKings. This can be a half unit play for me here. Reds have been swinging it well lately. So let's start first with who they're facing. AJ Smith-Shawver for the Atlanta Braves. You saw it earlier on the pitcher report. He has a huge 6.74 expected ERA. I am expecting him to get blown up at some point this year, pretty soon, because he's gotten a little lucky. 1.68 WHIP means he's given up a lot of base runners. He's given up 2 to 3 earned runs in all 4 starts. In his short career, I'm just going to use his whole career the last couple of years because it hasn't been a ton, but he's given up a lot of home runs, or most of his home runs, and slugging to lefties. 475 slugging allowed to lefties. Well, you know what? The Reds have TJ Friedl, Ellie De La Cruz, Gavin Lux, Jake Fraley. Lots of lefties in this lineup that I think can do some damage here. So I think they can get to them. Also, let's talk the Reds offense now. Versus righties in the last 3 weeks, 8th best WRC plus, 120. 100 is average. 3rd best OPS in the entire league. 5th highest walk rate. So you like to see it. You got the power, and you're also working the count. You're also getting on base. Last 10 games versus righties, they've scored 3+ runs in 9 of those 10, which is a good floor, obviously. 4+ runs in 6 of those 10. And then you get to the Braves bullpen after Smith-Shawver comes out. Though he's probably going to throw 5 innings here. It's really what he's been doing, 4 to 5 innings. That means you're going to get about 4 innings or so of this Braves bullpen. Guess what? They were just on Sunday Night Baseball, and they had to get that big win against the Dodgers to win 1 game out of that series. So what they do? They use their big arms in a close game. Pierce Johnson threw 15 pitches. Iglesias closed it out with 22 pitches. Dylan Lee, 15. Daysbel Hernandez, 16 pitches. Maybe 1 or 2 of these still come back after throwing 15, 16. But either way, it's not exactly a bullpen that's in a good shape for this game, at least. So I think the Reds can get 2 to 3 off Shawver, and then that just means we need 1 to 2 more runs off of this bullpen in the next 4 innings. And of course, we got the Reds on the road, which means they get 9 full at bats as the road team. So I like this one. Give me the Reds team total over 3.5 runs. That is my third and final best bet. Any added plays, of course, will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. But before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. The 3 best bets. Dodgers team total over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings at minus 125 for a half unit. And then the Mariners on the money line, minus 110 for a full unit. And then Reds team total over 3.5 runs, minus 130 for a half unit. More plays will be coming, so be sure to check those pinned comments below. But thank you guys for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. We got another full week of the MLB grind. And then also go check out that NBA best bets video if you have any time at all as well. But hope you have a great Monday. We'll talk to you soon.